Hello guys, welcome back to Patrones Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to make the model you are seeing in the picture. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 15. We have other great content that is to come, so hit that bell and let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern present from the magazine, we'll cut along the side line that we'll make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 cm seam, hems, and cut with notches and run lines. We overlock all around of the back piece. These are the pieces from the front. We fused them. These are the pieces from the bow. These are the pieces from the straps, the bias, and the elastic. First, we're going to start with the back. So we're going to start making the hem, and then we're going to place the elastic across of the back like 1 cm. First, we're going to start with the hem of the back. So we fold 1 cm and we pass a stitch along of the piece. And then we change the thread from the spool for the elastic, and we pass a stitch along of the back. You have to pass like 1 cm for each one. These are the pieces from the front. We're going to close on the center front. Then we continue with the bow. So we're going to pass a stitch around of the bow. These are the pieces from the front. We face the rights and we sew them. This is the bow. We sew them all around, but we leave a space without sewing because we need to turn the piece by the gap. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the piece. Turn the piece and then press with the iron. Pass a stitch all around of the piece. We continue with the front pieces. We fold the buttonhole and we're going to sew them. After that, we're going to take the top piece of the front and we're going to face the front pieces. We're going to sew them on the top, and then we're going to place on top the other piece of the front, and we're going to sew them. This is the strap. We're going to fold in half, face the right, and we're going to sew for one side and along of the piece. These are the pieces from the front. We sew the center front and we cut until the notch. Snip until the notch. Then we take the top piece of the front and we sew them. Sew the other side. We take the other piece and we place on top and we sew them along of the pieces. Cut the excess of the fabric. Snip the curves. Turn the piece and now we pass a stitch along of the front piece. This is the strap. We fold in half, we face the right and we sew for one side and along of the piece. Cut the excess of the fabric along of the piece. Turn the piece and then press with the iron. Pass a stitch to all around of the piece. This is the bias. We fold in half the bias and we place around of the armhole. So the bias with the front piece around of the armhole. Then cut like a half centimeter. Then fold the bias, pass a stitch on the edge. Now fold the bias inside of the garment and pass a stitch on the other edge. Make the same process as we made for the other side. This is the strap. We place on the front. After that, we're going to place the bias from the back to the front. Place the strap and pass a stitch on it. Place the bias and pass a stitch all along of the bias. Cut the excess of the fabric. Fold the bias and pass a stitch on the edge. Fold the bias inside of the garment and pass a stitch on the other edge. We're going to pass a stitch on the center front. We're going to make the button tape on the center front. Then we're going to place the back piece, so we face the rights of the pieces and we're going to close on the sides. This is the center front. We fold a little bit and we pass a stitch on it. This is the center front. We fold the bottom tape until the notch. We pass a stitch on it, then we cut the corner. This is the other side. We fold until the notch and we pass a stitch on it. Then we cut the corners and we turn the piece. This is the side of the t-shirt. We face the rights and we sew them from the top to the bottom. Then we overlock the sides. We pass a stitch a little bit on the sides. First one side and then the other one. This is the hem of the t-shirt. We fold like 1 centimeter and we pass a stitch along of the t-shirt. Place the strap on the back, fold 1 centimeter inside and pass a stitch on it. And we have finished our top. We place the buttons on the center front Also, we place the bow on the top part of the front by hand. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 15 and the links are below. We'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.